going to play his name wrong. It's a tribute.
It's a Blowers.
To the great Blowers.
Maybe we could have a jingle.
I was just about to say, any jinglers out there, get going. That'd be great.
Blowers in the Windies or something. Smuts faces up. This one is across him from Willie. Clever bowling that. It went across his bows. I think he was expecting a bit of movement in, but it didn't arrive. And beat him on the outside edge as he attempted a drive.
Who's that player? The answer is Blowers in the Wind.
Exactly, yes. But yes, you're right. I remember him probably in that famous series in 05, the Ashes series, where he continually referred to Flintoff as Botham. It's like, it's like his brain just thought it was 25 years ago.
I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Panasar or someone we called Chandrasekhar from about 30 years previous.
Extraordinary. This is on the leg stump of Smuts from Willie, and he tucks it round the corner down to deep backward square and gets a single. 22 without loss, one ball left in the third over.
But at the same time, my childhood and my whole life has been shaped by sitting at Lord's, listening to Blowers and others on the on TMS and speaking with great mellifluousness, but perhaps not much else.
Yeah, TMS it's a great institution, but we need to smash it, and that's what we're attempting to do here. Hendricks faces up again to Willie, a ball that arrives at hip height, and again he tucks it square of the wicket and gets another single. It's 23 without loss after 3. Rowan.
Palfreyman, sorry, we are not on Facebook Live tonight. It says it syncs better with the telly. Yeah, sorry, we don't have a camera in here tonight. You're just going to have to imagine us, although, try to imagine us.
I'm wearing shorts. That's how hot it's been in London. I never wear shorts. I apologise to anyone who can see me live.
Mog's saying about jingles, doesn't think he sent in his Patterson one.
Dane Patterson. We might have to go to the Dane Pete one as a substitute.
Yeah, somebody's saying about... Where am I?
Dane Pete is currently playing for South Africa A, by the way, against the England Lions. Hasn't taken any wickets as far as I can tell. But I can't look at his name without thinking of that lovely jingle with the Bears' vocal stylings.
Yes.
This one. Oh, stop it, because we have a new bowler who we should talk about, because this is interesting.
We've got a jingle for him.
I wish we did. I'm not sure.
Surely we do. Anyway, new lad, debutant, is in. There's a top edge. And it's gone over the man who was up far short and fine at backwards square leg, and they get through for 2 runs. So that was almost a very dramatic first ball in international cricket for one of the golden generation, I'm sure you would think.
It was. We were wondering, I think, Surrey fans, whether it was him or his younger brother who got the call up first.
Yeah.
Sam is shaping up to be an excellent all-rounder.
Yeah, I think Sam is probably playing for the Lions at the minute, and brother Tom gets his international bow today. He's in for his second ball, and he's bowled him off the inside edge. Dragged on. Hendricks looking to whip it through the onside. Got a thick inside edge. He's dragged it on. The bail flies in the air. Tom Curran goes mad.
Bless him.
Bless him.
Bless him.
Well, he could have had 2 in 2, couldn't he? Because that first ball was a thoroughly false shot. Top edge that just went over the head of the man behind square on the leg side. And second ball in international cricket, I mean, it's a good sign, this. However good you are, you need a little bit of luck, don't you? And that's something he'll remember.
And I'm glad he's got rid of his stupid man bun thing, actually.
No one likes to see a bun, I don't think, in the hair department.
Because there is some outstandingly stupid hair styling going on in cricket at the moment, isn't there? Those little... zigzaggy hairband things to keep everyone's hair out their eyes. Yeah, Tahir wears one of those. Yeah, and
Jadeja was one in the Champs Trophy, wasn't he? I love Jadeja's hair, I have to say, but yes, wearing the zigzaggy sort of hair clip to keep it in place was unwise, I'd say.
I think I'm miles behind on tweets, but we'll sort that.
Would you like to try and catch up?
We'll try and catch up. Yes, in reply to Mog's thing about the tweets, shit, they may have to use mine then. I don't remember what it was, but it was probably crap. Mark's saying, God Badger saying, look for Guerrilla Cricket on TuneIn. They're good commentators, lots of fun, and not geo-blocked. Yay, yes, plug us.
Thank you, Zippo. It was lovely to see you last week, and I'm glad you're back.
Cricket Ultra. Brothers, sisters, we don't need this fascist beep bang, in the words of Heaven 17.
Heaven 17, get in.
Mog is going to send us some stuff, I think.
Good lad. So the man coming in at number 3 for South Africa is not the man that we all thought it was going to be, or certainly not who I thought it was going to be. But it's the wicketkeeper, and I don't know whether we've got a jingle for him.
We don't have a jingle for him,
David.
but this is interesting.
It's Mosehle. And Curran's interbolt him. A good ball on middle and leg, but Mosechli is able to work it behind square to get off the mark immediately. The score is 26 for 1, halfway through the fourth over.
I couldn't help feeling during that first 2020 that the way that Bahadian and de Villiers were batting wasn't showing much faith in this fella's batting ability, because he was in at 6, and it was almost as if they knew that the tail began at 6, and that was why they were batting so conservatively.
Well, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but certainly an interesting move to put him at 3 this time around.
Curran's in again, bowls one outside off stump, and almost a carbon copy of the Hendricks dismissal as a thick inside edge from John Smuts narrowly misses his off stump. And there's no run there either.
It sounds like somebody in a cowboy movie, doesn't it?
John, it's wrong.
John Smuts, though. It does sound like somebody in a cowboy movie.
I'm not a fan of that, having the same name hyphenated.
Play it again, Sam. And then you would play it again.
Bears causing all sorts of havoc with the jingles, but he has. Oh no, he's clicking everything. But
The latest ball, by the way, takes him on the pad and runs out to the offside. There's no run.
on the this is what you have to put up with for Genius, because he has found us a Tom Curran jingle, I think.
Oh, what could it be? I think is there a song with Current in the title? Or?
Just another South Africa. Just another playing for it. Just another South Africa. Playing for England.
Smuts guides this one down to the third man region and gets a single. That's the end of the fourth over. It's 27 for 1. That's a successful introduction into international cricket for Tom Curran. Now, I've got a theory about the Curran brothers, which is they're not quite as good as people think they are.
That's it, but they're so young. And that's
Well, I mean, lots of people are young. Doesn't mean they're any good.
But people sort of, I think, they're getting a lot of bigging
Well,
up.
they're like 23 and 20, aren't they? Or 22 and 20, something
Sam
like that.
is barely 19.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Because he got. I remember him getting man of the match for one of the T20s, and he wasn't actually old enough to have the champagne.
Oh, bless him.
That's it. And lots of people saying that we should hand over a bottle of Tango.
This sounds like, well spotted. And the nicely bearded Plunkett starts with a dot ball as it's pushed out into the covers for no run.
No, I was getting worried after that third over, because South Africa started kind of disarmingly well. No real alarm at all. In fact, the only alarm had been on the wides from Jordan, but they seem to be back to form in that fourth over.
Yeah, and Plunko in again, and this one was turned off his hip by Smuts and fielded by the man running in from the square leg boundaries. It's going to be a single. Yeah, it's 28 for 1 now after 4.2, and it was 20 without loss after 2, wasn't it? So even in this short form of the game, you can get ups and downs. You can get a lot of jingles. You can get boom and slump. Yeah,
It's never dull on Guerrilla
never
Cricket.
a dull
It's
moment.
a shame that we don't have Facebook Live up here today, actually, because there's all sorts going on in the studio right now.
Shenanigans.
And this one is again hip height on Mosechle's sort of leg stump, and he attempts to work it into the leg side, but gets nothing on it. Drops in front of him, no run. Yeah, if we did have Facebook Live, I should imagine Cracked a Bear would be tweeting in.
Yeah. God, I love Crack the Bear.
I like the way it's named, like Bubbles DeVille or something.
Dave Emirates, Jordan's like that young kid who's unplayable in the nets, but put him out in the middle and he goes to pieces. Somebody else saying he's channeling Dernbach. I mean, I think...
Oh, that's
below the belt.
That's high dis indeed.
Well...
again, it's on middle and leg, and he attempts to whip it through the onside, but it takes him on the pad. A bit quick for him there.
It's a bit full as well for that.
Yeah, 90 miles an hour, that delivery from Plunkett.
I mean, Dernbach, he is the one who goes to pieces under pressure, and when things start going badly, he just can't get his head back in the game, which is a shame because he had a lot of talent, but it just doesn't translate onto the big big game.
Still does okay for Surrey, doesn't he?
Yeah, very well for Surrey.
You should imagine he's a lot way down the pecking order now, as far as England concerned. Plunko is in again. It's a shorter ball, and this one is successfully whipped through square leg for a single to Mosechle.
Does look like a shot, that, doesn't it? I mean, even in a village cricket match, if I'd been kind of watching him for the first few balls, you'd be playing for that shot. You'd be saying to everyone, "That's his shot. That's his shot." That little whip off the legs, because he's trying to play it to every ball at the moment.
And maybe adjust your line accordingly. Maybe bowl a sort of fourth, fifth stump outside the off stump.
That fourth ball of the over in particular was a ball to be kind of straight batted down through mid-on or mid-wicket, and he's trying to whip it squarer than that. And I think the only thing that's going to happen there really is the ball goes up in the air from that leg.
And it's on middle stump, this time angled in by Plunkett, and it's played up to mid-on, and he gets a single. That's the end of the fifth over. It's 30 for 1. So, it's a moderate start, I suppose, for South Africa. They'll be hoping they can kick on this time, unlike the other day in Southampton.
You know what? We've been having a go at Bear for the last 5 minutes because we've had sorts of jingles going out.
I've not been having a go.
It feels like people have been kind of having a go at Bear for the last 5 minutes, but he has come up with a number of jingles, some of which we can play almost immediately. We have the batsman who's just come in just now and whose technique we're critiquing at the moment is this man.
Tell me I'm not crazy, or maybe just a little bit, maybe just a little bit crazy.
Mo Saley.
Prove me wrong.
Lovely stuff. And Curran starts a new over. This one is crashed back by Smuts. It smacks into the stumps at the other end, but just deflects it to long off for one of these. By Christ, he hit that hard.
A lot happened in that ball, didn't it?
I think they're going to need to call up the dressing room for clean pants for the umpire, actually, because that did.
And some new stumps as well. You know, just a flick on that by Curran, it would have been out by a long way as well.
And some lovely footwork by the ump there. I don't know who the umpires are, but he's done that thing, jumping in the air and trying to move laterally as well. This one is defended off the back foot and fielded at point, and there's no run this time. Christ, he hit that hard, though, that previous one.
I thought Curran was only inches away from that with his hands, I think, looking at the replay.
Well, the stump, he crashed it back into what would be the leg stump at the other end for a right-handed batsman, and it's absolutely whacked into the stump and still flown to the long-off boundary.
I think I'm quite glad he didn't get his fingers in the way of that, actually, because it could have been really nasty.
Then Curran again, and it's another ball on the hip of Smuts, turns around the corner, there's a shy at the stumps from the man at backward square leg there, who I think is Liam Dawson, is it? Misses the stumps, however, and it's just one run, 35 for 1 after 5 points.
What do we think about this one? He
was way in.
Captain Mike Yates saying, listen to Guerrilla Cricket, Hendo's a lovely bloke commentating on the T20. Will South Africa choke? Sorry, Hendo's not on tonight.
It's Scrubby here, it's not Hendo, and if we sound alike, that's odd. Maybe we've spent too much time together in recent months. The standing umpire is Michael Goff, and he was very nearly not standing a couple of balls ago. And this one is absolutely mowed over cow corner by Mosechle. It's gone all the way, and a man running round fails to get it. He raises his bat because he's hit a sixth. As he wants to get... Well, a little bit but
again, the same shot he's played to every ball so far. The ball that goes slightly squarer than you're expecting it to.
Yeah, he's certainly, from the evidence we've seen thus far, is a man who favours the leg side. On that occasion, it was a ball outside his off stump, and he stood there really, very little foot movement, and swung it high, wide and handsome over cow corner, really. And I think he's broken his bat.
It's a flash, and in fact he's taken the glove. So Mosechle couldn't play the short ball. I thought that had drooped through off the shoulder, or maybe nothing at all, but actually Plunkett's got the wicket, and Mosechle, those stats may be all right, Sophia. He couldn't handle Plunkett's short, quick deliveries, and he's caught Butler bowled Plunkett for 15.
I love how much more understated his wicket celebration was. complete illustration of contrast there.
Well, South Africa moved to 57 for 2. That reminded me a little bit of, I've just started to play again, and I was in the nets, and the short stuff, I was just literally getting back and swinging at it, had no idea, and it was hitting me all over the place. And I was totally unable to get my hands on the ball, and literally Michele is at to Joss Butler. Got nowhere near it.
Guess who it is, everyone? I can't. Where's South Africa in the?
Where's South
We
Africa?
found India.
Oh well.
Oh, found them.
We
Here we
definitely
go.
have a jingle for this man.
Yeah, because it's this guy.
Oh my god, it's amazing. You miss matches on here, and you miss jingles, and I'm constantly taken by surprise.
Yeah, that jingle is.
That is might be my.
We had the old one that was.
I don't lie to you guys. I've just found the picture.
Oh, brilliant!
It's the Global League.
Well, anyway, Plunkett's into AB de Villiers and plays a lovely shot off the front foot. Oh, that's de Villiers at his absolute best. There's a fielder out there. It's
Curran.
It's Curran on the boundary, and he does well to keep it down to 2. But that was probably the most fluent shot he's played in the last 2 games.
It does look like a meeting of, and I'm going to say this carefully.
Yes, well, we're just being shown
of the Global League.
Yes,
South
we're being
Africa
shown.
Global League.
We're being shown. Sophia showed us a picture of the Global League, and you're right. They're white.
Yeah, with gold lettering.
I mean, is that the kit? And everyone has different.
It's because they're all romance book writers.
So last ball of Plunkett's over is to de Villiers, who's off the back foot, punching through cover. It's fielded out there by the Curran, and it's South Africa. The Curran.
No, but wait,
That's what the T stands for. South Africa is 60 for 2.
He could play for South Africa. In fact, there was a time because his father. African.
Oh, right.
And Surrey brought them over when I'm pretty sure I'm getting my story right. His father died really sadly and brought them over and paid for all 3 of them to go through Wellington College.
Wow.
And they've actually been brought up in the indoor school in the Oval.
Yeah. Alex Stewart's just been there, like petting them. No, but genuinely. And then I'm pretty sure Tom's brother, for a time, was registered as a South African player, and the 2 of them were registered.
Sam, who's the baby, was born in the UK, I think.
Well, Liam Dawson's going round the wicket to AB de Villiers, and AB de Villiers plays a reverse sweep, and he just manages to dab that past Butler, past the fielder there at fine leg, and they take it's Livingston.
Oh,
I could be completely wrong about that, actually. And there's the middle one as well, who is.
I think it's the middle one that can play for South. That has to play for South Africa.
Is he Ben, the middle one? They're all 3 letters.
As Dawson continues round the wicket, and Schmutz goes for a big slash, but it's not quite there for the hit. It's fuller than he thinks, and he's only able to bat it back to Dawson.
Mog wants blowers to say fucking Muppet.
I want him to do the just fuck off jingle. I think that would be hilarious. Fuck off.
Will he call people fucking Muppets?
As Dawson bowls down the leg side, and Schmutz paddles that down to deep square leg and takes a single.
And Evil Scooter says yes, he would pay to hear that. And 2 new Test Nations in the Women's World Cup starting tomorrow. Yay, indeed.
Yes, yay, indeed.
And being shown. They're showing all the games.
We haven't talked about that, actually. A historic day. 2 new Test countries on the same day, Ireland and Afghanistan.
I think it's wonderful for the
it's
expansion
fantastic.
of the game.
Oh, as AB de Villiers tries to play that in and out, inside and out, through covers, backing away, but he can only get it to David Willey, fielding there mid-off, and there's no run.
And they can easily do something like the Pumas have done in rugby.
Yes.
Which is, play constantly against great teams. Pumas play the All Blacks quite a lot.
Yeah.
They play obviously.
Well, they're in the Super Rugby tournament, aren't they?
But that means that they've now where they can beat these guys.
As Dawson's in, and de Villiers tries to go back. Ball that's not really there, and he's only able to sort of hack it to the fielder out there, who I think might be Tom Curran, the Curran again.
No, Billings.
Sam Billings. The Billings.
The poshest man on tour.
Is he the poshest man on tour?
I think he's got that label. He went to school with Jamie George.
As Dawson completes his over and beats Schmutz. Got through him a little bit quicker, and Schmutz tried to cut that off the back foot. He plays and misses. A good over from Liam Dawson there. 63 for 2, only 3 off it, I think. De Villiers on 5, Schmutz on 33.
Ravi Nair saying, right guys, the telly is so boring I've retired to bed, so you are my lifeline, placenta to the cricket from now on. I think it's an umbilical cord you're thinking
yes,
of.
umbilical cord.
And who are you calling a placenta?
Ed.
Well, then who's the umbilical? Then who's the mother and who's the umbilical cord? Like, there's three of us here.
Well done, you listened during science.
Yes, I did.
And Yes. Anybody else here given birth?
Yeah. Did you eat your placenta? Apparently that's...
No, I didn't eat my placenta.
That's a real trend down in California.
They asked if I wanted to see it, and I was like, no, it's done a great job, but I'm good.
Why would it be paraded in front of you?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
Brilliant, flash fried on the old... But apparently they do that in California. They blend it.
I know.
And they also make art with the umbilical cords. You can actually get them framed and all sorts of disgusting things.
Well, Plunkett's bowling his third over. He's over the wicket to de Villiers, and de Villiers gets on top of a short ball from Liam Plunkett. It's a lovely shot. He's got that just forward of square enough, so it beats the man on the square leg boundary, and it's gone to the boundary for one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I wanted that Japanese one, but it wasn't.
He was early on it, but he actually saw that there was a gap there at cow corner, and he just swatted it, got over the short ball, rolled his wrists, and thrashed it to the boundary for 4.
We're seeing a wonderful... Isn't it beautiful, this air shot of Taunton?
Oh, it's so beautiful. As Plunkett's in, de Villiers goes down the wicket, and he's got an outside edge, and that's not gone where he intended, but it's still gone to the boundary. It's flown to third man for one of these.
I'm sorry, I played that one.
And
they're not labelled. I don't know what I'm...
And that sums up de Villiers' form. He's trying to do a classic de Villiers, come down the wicket and smash that over cover, but he's just got a thick outside edge, and it's flown, absolutely flown like a rocket. Fine third man for 4. Like a tracer bullet.
You actually have to question yourself, don't you, when AB de Villiers doesn't know where the ball's going?
No, you think perhaps, is there a God, as de Villiers tabs that one out into the onside and takes a single?
There is God Badger who is listening to us and happy to have been recommended.
Well, he's the only God I need.
Yeah.
I had a fun fact from my boyfriend. He told me that tracer bullets are slower than normal bullets.
Yeah, that's the thing,
So to say that tracer bullet gone like a tracer bullet, actually that's not very good.
But still reasonably fast, I should imagine.
No, there was
I don't think it sort of
comes out and
I think there might be a video where Jared Kimber asks Ravi Shastri to explain what a tracer bullet is, and he has absolutely no idea. It's just something he picked up, and he's just said it, and it's become a catchphrase. So we're seeing some advice being given to Plunkett here, which is a bit unfair, given that last ball beat AB de Villiers for pace, but he's in now, and Schmutz plays a swing at a ball down the leg side, and that has gone for one of these.
Oh, no. Sing it.
Wide.
Yeah, I still haven't.
Grubby's big on Grubby, because you weren't here, Sophia, but the jingle machine was rebooting itself, and Grubby was all for just sing them. Just we'll have live jingles.
Was beautiful, guys. Live jingles.
Live jingles.
Where is it? Which one is it?
It's in extras, I think, as Plunkett is into Schmutz, and Schmutz managed to get some bat on that one, but he only manages to get it down to Livingston down there at single.
I've just discovered there
Dawson, correction.
3 wide jingles.
There are.
I
never knew this. Because I don't think I've ever, oddly enough, I've never clicked on extras.
Yeah.
Despite the fact, I think jingle machine's going to be in full use, Ed, just to let you know.
I'm looking forward to it.
I want to test these all out.
At Gorilla
Yeah.
Sophia at Gorilla Music.
It's always us two, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm like the Greg James of this establishment.
Anyway,
through to the keeper.
de Villiers is on strike, and he's moved outside the leg stump. Oh, and he's played that beautifully. Oh, he picked a slow ball from Leah Plunkett and hit a slow ball full toss through cow corner, just a little golf swing, and it's gone to the boundary just by a snowman in the crowd for one of these.
So after 3, the scribes would write 4.
What the hell was that, Mog?
It's interesting because there's a really great instructive video of AB de Villiers talking about his batting technique and how he has a box.
Do you know, I've never seen the AB de Villiers batting masterclass. They never show it.
You should.
Being sarcastic.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
as de Villiers this time connects, he swung through the line at 1 and he's bashed that over cover. That's the de Villiers that we know and that we love, and it's gone over the ropes for one of these. That's the end of the 10th over, 84 for 2. But no, all I was saying was that you can tell he's Nick, because he says in that batting masterclass, as you know.
I do know.
That. Well, he thinks he doesn't want to move his feet beyond this box, which is a very small area. But today we've already seen he's going all over the place. He's back miles outside leg stump, and he's connected sometimes, and he hasn't other times. But he hasn't looked his fluent self. What have we got on the tweets?
We have Derek Willis saying he would have put Sam ahead of Tom. He's got more potential. They're both. I mean,
well, I wanted to ask you about that, but let's keep going.
Jeff Perkins saying we'd have to create the background sound of the mass sacrifice. I think this is Ray tweets again.
As Dawson bowls a ball to Schmitz, which is only able to
Back from AB de Villiers looks somewhat ill. What was he? Maybe de Villiers something looks somewhat ill. What was he? 60 something from 50 something. Via Illings, he's 40 not out from 18, and we have David Willey coming in to Farham Bihardine. He's over the wicket, left arm over. This is swatted away onto the leg side to the deep mid wicket fielder, and Fudge will pick up 1. So I can move on to 121 for 4.
Should we have his jingle?
Absolutely.
Mutton dagger, old blind Bob, hanging Johnny, fishing rod, tallywhacker, pocket rocket, one-eyed trouser trout. Ding dong, ankle spanker, pork sword, engine cranker, hairy hot dog, Davy Crockett, let them all hang out. Pet names for genitalia, you know the girls think of them.
Complete genius, this jingle.
Pet names for genitalia, there's always something silly about little Willie.
There is always something silly about David Willey as he's over the way, and de Villiers walks all the way over the offside. He's hit it over fine leg. It's miles over fine leg.
It's surely that. Did that go on the road?
Out of the ground, over fine leg, into the road, over the church for 1. A huge one of these.
You know you're
That is an utterly remarkable shot from AB de Villiers. I don't think I have ever seen a ball go that far over fine leg before.
Can I just say he's definitely feeling all right?
He's definitely feeling all right.
He's fine, guys.
I rattled through some tweets whilst we go find the
Yes, absolutely.
Motherall Bams rock at Bock and Roll says, little known fact, that's why it's KP's best format.
Oh, the T20, I think, yeah.
And then Ben Ingham says, sorry ignoring the Colpack rule and just picking up their Saffers as kids, question mark.
Yeah, ooh, good.
Controversial.
Yeah.
And then Ravi comes in and says, to be fair, once you remembered there were tweets, alternate round rattled through them very well.
Willie in again. This is up in the air from de Villiers. Has he got the length? It's gone miles up in the air. It's going to be caught. It is caught. It's the end of what was an exciting innings from de Villiers, but he's gone for 46. He only took 20 balls, but South Africa are in some trouble now at 127 for 5.
was a giant mistake. Was a giant mistake.
I feel like I've been done out of one there. I've watched one absolutely unbelievable shot from de Villiers, and then he's gone, and we've got to commentate on the rest of them.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to lie. I'm now thinking to myself, AB, do you want Abraham? Do you want to go to the doctor? Are you sure you're all right?
Does it have to be him that's out? Can we? I mean, I know.
Yeah. Can we do a WG Grace? Can he just be like, mate, I'm not going?
Can we have a pinch wicket, please? Instead of a pinch hitter, a pinch wicket. So someone to walk off when you just got out.
I like the kind of WG Grace, but in a South African accent.
Oh, yeah. Well, my pleasure. I'm here all game.
He actually, I think, dropped the bat as he played that shot to Villiers.
Not the
He
mic,
tried to
the
hit
bat.
it so far. No, he dropped the mic on the last shot, or he should have done.
Yeah.
If he had a mic, he would have dropped it with some conviction. But no, very sadly, he's gone, and he has been replaced by somebody else, who is this man.
Here he is.
Because it's Chris Morris. Because it's Chris Morris. Because it's Chris Morris. And it's coming up now.
It is Chris Morris, but he won't be on strike. This is a full ball to Farham Bihardine, who gets a little inside edge onto the pad and squirts through into the vacant gap on the offside. The bowler scampers after it, but they will get a single, and it will leave Chris Morris to face his first ball from David Willey.
We've got some exciting stuff because Chris Morris's highest score is 17.
17.
Woo.
My dad's highest score is 17 in his 20.
He's no better than Chris
20-year cricketing career.
In T20, because I'm sure he scored a lot more than that in one day.
I'm not convinced that's the case.
Chris Morris isn't a bad batsman, let's face it. He's a proper all-rounder.
David Willey in, and this is pulled again to the mid-wicket boundary, but it's picked up by Billings. It will come in, and that's Morris's first run. No, I'm sure Chris Morris has got more than that. I'm not sure about my dad, who I'm fairly sure is 17 is the high score.
Your dad's 17?
Well,
how does that work?
Funny things go on down in Kent, you wouldn't believe.
Well, Garden of England, that's what I'm saying, Any tweets?
Yep, I'll just come through it. I'll come to them at the end of this over.
Oh.
David Willey, last ball of the over, and Fudge works it away onto the onside. There's a big gap there between the leg gully and, in fact, no one else short in the leg side, so you can pretty much have it wherever you want, and he will take one. South Africa 130 for 5.
And Mog says, Rowan single? 75% of the male listeners have just come back.
There we go.
And Jeff Perkins replies, is that the 75 of the original 100%, i.e. 100% of the 75 who left, 75 of the 75% who left, i.e. 56.25% of the original 100%.
I'm so confused.
That is, well, it's 9/16, isn't it? Because it's 3 quarters.
Oh my God, guys, stop talking about maths. I have to use calculators to work out Test cricket scores, okay?
And
I genuinely do.
Adam Stockwin has tweeted back to us Rowan's my dear old fucking thing hashtag.
Well, I see. Yes, I mean, we've had a few kind of attempted blowers impressions. I think.
Oh, my dear old thing.
You see, that was the best one so far. What I was going to say, that they've all been a little bit half-hearted so far. You went fully into that one.
I can do posh old men impressions.
I'm glad you finished that sentence. As Tom Curran comes in, and it's worked away by Bihar Dean to the deep back square leg, and they've taken one.
Should we have a jingle for this terrible lidded man?
Definitely.
Just another South Africa. Just another flag parade. Just another South Africa flag parade.
And that is the Curran, Tom Curran.
It is Tom Curran, and he's coming in, kind of ambling in slowly now, gaining some pace as he runs in to bowl to Chris Morris. Chris Morris comes down the wicket, but it doesn't come onto the bat as quickly as he was hoping. He ends up just being able to swat it away to the debutant, Liam Livingstone. He will take another one, and South Africa 132 for 5.
Dr. Dan has sent us a sketch, which I've retweeted.
Hi,
it's
Dr.
of
Dan.
Reza Hendricks being bowled by Tom Curran.
Oh, fantastic. I do love those sketches. I've got to say.
And you've been corrected by your mum, I think.
Have I? Not again.
Has your mum tweeted in?
She has.
Probably.
Well, Fiona Franklin.
That
Hi,
sounds
Mrs.
a lot
Franklin.
like her.
David's dad wishes to correct the record.
Sorry, is this one? I was absolutely petrified there as Curran comes into Bihar Dean, who works it away to the deep mid-wicket boundary for 1.
His highest score was 31.
Whoa, you've really undersold him there.
He did get that 31, didn't he? He was in that kind of fading light game on a Sunday one time. It was 17 for a long time, and I apologise profusely.
Oh, gosh. Just can't get the children these days.
I know.
Wow.
Huge disappointments all round.
Yeah.
This is in from Curran, and it's sort of a little inside edge out to the leg side. They might get 2 for it, you know. As Livingston comes in, shies at the stumps from a long way out. It's a good throw, but the batsman, it's remarkable that he just worked it off his legs, but got a little inside edge. It squirted out to the vacant mid-wicket area, but as we were saying before, there is no one in front of square on the leg side in anywhere like a saving 1 position. As it turns out, anywhere like a saving 2 position, and they got 2 for a little edge. Anyway, Morris has moved on to 4-0 out. It's Curran in again to Morris, and this is hooked from quite high up above his head out in the offside. It's gone to Liam Livingstone again. They'll take 1. South Africa 136 for 5.
And Bellingham says, all weekend, been humming the Butler jingle all week.
Yeah,
good. Well, that's what we like from a jingle. Yeah.
1 S and 2 T's.
Adam Stockton reminds us that Morris was great in the IPL.
Yeah, he was.
Curran in again, last ball of the over. This is a slower ball, and it's slower ball kind of bouncing short outside the off stump. Bihar Dean tries to cut it away, but it can only find Jason Roy at point, and he will get none for that one. South Africa 136 for 5 from 16. So what's that? That's just over 8 and a bit and over. So again, I think
for acceleration, I reckon 180 to 190.
Well, yeah, 10 and over is 176, isn't it? 12 and over from here is 184. So yeah, I think you'd certainly be hoping for at least 180 from this point. But if England can get wickets, they could easily restrict them to less than 160, and it wouldn't be too much of a surprise.
See, that caravan, the Sky Caravan, now looks appropriate in a small ground, whereas in the large ground it just looks stupid and gimmick-ish.
David Willian, it's a full toss, but it swings into Chris Morris, who can't do much with it. He tries to work it away onto the offside, but his bat comes out of his hand, not unlike A.B. de Villiers did on the shot that he got out to, and it just squirts away to mid-off for no run.
We're just seeing a picture of the Sky commentary team. Don't you think Ian Ward his skin colour. He's got a rather dodgy tan, and it blends in with that sort of cladding behind him.
He does. You can barely see him, can't you?
Yeah, it is a dodgy tan. That is it. He look. It's probably.
Did you say the word cladding there?
A bit too much.
Danger, Will Robinson.
David Willey, and that is Yorker. I thought it was going to be out LBW, but I think he just got a little inside edge on that, did Chris Morris. They've scampered through for a single. Willie's picked it up, but not quickly enough to prevent that one. We're seeing it again. It's a Yorker length ball that almost certainly would have been out LBW, but he's absolutely slapped that into his toe. I broke my toe doing that last season, and it's the most painful thing you can do.
What's your highest score?
My highest score, it's a good question, 119.
Oh, not bad. Yeah. When did you make that?
Quite a long time ago, if I'm honest.
So.
Yeah.
Congratulations, sir. You are a centurion.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
We don't need these jingle
Willie
machines.
comes in, and this is pulled, but not very well, out to the deep with wicket. Sam Billings is coming after this, and he comes in with an absolute rocket throw that prevents the batsman from taking any more than one. You wouldn't want to take on that arm.
Sam Billings is like a tracer bullet.
He is like a tracer bullet. That's seamlessly worked in if you wanted to use the jingle.
Yeah, well, I could have done, but I can't be bothered to find it.
So who was it that was pointing out a couple of days ago that tracer bullets were actually slower than real bullets?
I got a text from my soon-to-be at Sandhurst boyfriend that informed me. You see, he knows this kind of pointless information.
Willie in again, and Morris tries to hoik it over mid-wicket, but it gets a thick inside edge, and all it does is squirt away to the leg gully, and there's one.
He can tell you a lot about tanks as well. It's thrilling. It's absolutely thrilling.
My dad can tell you a lot about tanks. It's a similar kind of interest.
And you're sort of there like, oh, and it's interesting for 5 minutes, and then you're like, do you know what?
Talk to me about tracer bullets instead.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. But we're all just laughing now.
This is David Willey in left arm over the wicket and smeared over the offside by Fahim Bahardine, who gets his first boundary. It's gone over cover for one of these.
Number 4 counts all the seasons and the 4 legs on a chair.
Mog, can we get some new 6 ones as well? We've had some new 4s. Can we get some new 6s? Hi, Mog.
I was just laughing at his tweet, actually. He said, I broke a toe dropping guitar on it. Fucking metal.
No.
It is a painful part of the body to break the toe.
I've never broken anything. Oh, I love it when a security guard tries to do the crowd catch.
Willian again, this is full and straight to Chris Jordan, who somehow drops it. You would have thought, so certainly at slip, one of the safest pair of hands in the team. And yet he doesn't seem to be able to recreate his form at mid-off that he had at slip, because he let one through his legs earlier on in the day. And that one is an absolute sitter that I would back most of the Guerrilla Cricket team and most of our listeners to catch. And somehow he's just not seen it.
Just waiting for the piece of paper to come out with, yeah, Chris, catch Nah.
I'm just waiting for... I mean, I don't know what... Because it's hit hard-ish by Fahim Bahardine, but that's an absolute regular 98 catch you would expect from someone. But I've lost it. I don't know, and maybe someone can let me know.
I've got a jingle for this.
You've got...
It's in the crib, man. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah,
on that. The plus, get the chance to redeem his. It is good when you've dropped a catch as well, to be able to come straight back on and put it right, because Bahardine actually got a single from. So it be Chris Jordan, Bahardine, and we can jingle him up.
Personal.
Chris Jordan will make him by more England will soon draw nigh. Or if they stay, we'll see he'll wish his the Windies team.
Probably uncharitable about that drop. I would say he was trying 2 shades on the top.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to be uncharitable about the drop, I'd say he was trying to on the basis of in the last innings, this kind of run a ball fest. But it would be Christian Bahardine. But Bahardine winds up and he's almost caught again as jumps up over his head. It's past the mid-off. It's one of these.
It's Nietzsche. It's Nietzsche.
Yeah.
No, he's entirely unconscious at the end of the jingle there. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, we enjoy, even if none of you enjoy it, we enjoy our cricket. Oh, dearie me.
in it when those kind of sort of inadvertent noises start coming out during jingle. In again, and this is full again. He doesn't quite time this one as well, and it squirts all the way down on. They will take one.
Who do you think is the best death bowler?
I think
we've used him. Unfortunately, Plunkett's pretty good.
Jordan, though,
I like Jordan, although I'm biased by that super over that I can never get out of my head when answering. I would have Jordan on at the death. I quite like him.
Jordan and Plunkett. Who are they going to? Who hasn't? So it's going to be Jordan and I would imagine Plunkett. Is he complete? Shorter from Jordan. A long way up in the air this time for Chris Morris. We have a third man diving away to get it. It's David Willey. It's one of those where you have a choice playing it safe and four or diving and going for the catch. He dived and went for the catch. Unfortunately, he didn't get there. Result, it's one of these. Well, actually, I was going to be a bit mean. Can I do?
You can play both. Yes, absolutely.
This is a bit mean, Willie, but I feel like it.
You've put your finger on an important nuance with that. It's not necessarily inept fielding, it's funny fielding.
Yeah,
although that wasn't inept from Willie, it was most certainly kind of funny in a sort of farcical way.
It was also the fact that the TV screen, he literally just appeared, didn't he, from the left-hand side at the last minute.
This one is full of from Jordan, but it just straddles inside the wide line, and a good ball as a result. It's not given the wide by the umpire. That's pretty much the perfect ball at this stage, I'd suggest. Well judged by to give it.
Mog says, my only 60 thus far is the pinnacle of my talents. Any more would be lesser sons of great sons.
Oh no, Mog!
And Jeff Perkins has got a comment after this.
Chris Jordan is wider, and I think will be given a wide because that's the wrong side of the wide line.
Like, not good to straddle the wrong side.
Not good to, he's both sides, and he's just got that. He hasn't got his ball over.
Enough. Shall I say a tweet then? Jeff Perkins says, logic, Ravi has a vodka. Each swig he consumes 25%, reducing the content to 75%. He expects it to full forever. WTF?
Jordan in again. This is a full toss. Smeared over wicket, not over. Far out, and it's dropped horribly. There is nothing going on with England's fielders today. There's the horrible. I mean, we've played the comedy fielding twice. This is the comedy fielding for inept fielding. Oh no, we're going to play the. That's better.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's.
Classic. How many jingles do you want? Bad. It was. Jordan in again, and these the mid-off fielder, they'll go from. There's a shy at the stumps, they won't get them. I think actually it's right to play the fielding jingles for that because it was a crap ball, it was a crap shot, it was a crap piece of fielding. Get more village than one. I mean, just as a repeat fifth ball of that over, it was a horrible full toss, not with any just a thigh height, just what you want as a batsman at this latter stage. He goes for a massive hoik but doesn't time it out with a hit, that run out, but doesn't time it at all, goes loops up in the air straight to the deep mid wicket, as easy a catch as you're gonna get out at mid wicket, although you could say that none of them that one was. Liam Livingstone, unfortunately on his debut, now managed to grass it.
Went into his hands as well, made contact with the hands.
It did, which means that he can't use the ground excuse because it was in, he just didn't close his hands properly.
Anyway, very quickly, Andy Brum says, let's talk tanks. Raw! And there's a picture of a tank, a Ford Escort.
Excellent.
Very much like my Ford Escort.
Why not?
Maybe it is yours.
Yeah, that may be.
Tom, and this is full and straight and worked down to the long boundary for one. Yes, if that was your Ford Escort, then I think you've underplayed the reaction tweet.
Lambeth's new camping law.
well, crushing law.
We're just seeing a graphic here, but getting back to the cricket of Tom Curran's change last over, and the fastest ball is going up twice the speed of the slowest ball. Remarkable. The 6 balls kind of come to the stumps at different times. It does make it difficult for batsmen if you're trying to kind of wind long hit. Curran in again. This one is another slower ball. It is a long hit. Will it be caught long on? Yes, it will. Jason Roy, accomplished player who is not going to do like that. South Africa have lost wicket there, 157.
Mein Beutel stimmt.
Sorry, that was in. We'll do this one.
Oh, that's a gosh.
Well,
he's got to go for it at this time of the innings.
True, but
and
anyway.
you know the jingle isn't always
it's
that.
quite random. I'm just sort of impressed.
If it's in the wickets,
in the wickets folder, I'll just click any of them.
It's almost like, you know, when it goes for one of the and we get a jingle that's a super shot one or
what the hell?
Can I write through some tweets?
Yes.
Ben Egan quotes is okay at the end of the innings. Obviously not.
Very good. I quite agree. The Tri-Series final a couple of years ago, he was brilliant.
He's come back and he says, but like Zeno, I know that if I drink 25% of water in a bottle at any time, it'll never get empty. And they keep on playing on that riff, Mogg saying Zeno is 100% proof.
Right? Yeah. No, this is Zeno. Yeah, the arrow one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jeff, you think xenophobia would be the fallacies then?
Yes.
All that Zeno, and Ravine says all that Zeno was famously a migrant where he worked. Brexit started 56 years ago, clearly.
This is the great thing about the cricket. You get some kind of conversations going on
as well.
Yeah, educational.
Something you didn't know before.
In the time, we have a new batsman. Do we have a? We do. In the meantime, Curran to Bihardine, who won over the leg side. It's gone all the way. Sky Sports Caravan, the stupid Sky Sports Caravan for one. Bihardine just spotting that slower ball, I think, this time was a little bit short. And it has directly on top of the aforementioned Ian, or where his head would have been, but the Caravan.
Well, he's not that tall.
He's
very small, is he? Michael is finding everything funny today.
Tom Curran again, that's a lovely Yorker. And somehow Bihardine's managed to bounce it on the back over the bowler and one. He's done well there. It's the first time Bihardine bat more than about a run a ball. I'm glad that he's finally kind of coming through.
Well, his pull shot is one of his. I remember seeing that in South Africa. Indisposed.
Yes.
And
no,
he
absolutely
demolished in an innings. He's got 50 off about 18 balls, most of which was through square leg.
He's very experienced. This is his first international T20.
So I've played that many.
Yeah, he's played 74.
He is Mr. Anonymous. He's not huge personality on the field.
Yeah, definitely.
Says these people aren't appreciated. Flintoff in comedy gold, nearly enough.
Tom coming in. There are 8 balls left of this South African innings. They're 164 for 6 and he's bowled.
Tom Curran is on fire.
Phil Aquarius, first ball for Golden Duck. Have lost their 7th wicket. They're 64 for 7.
Can I just okay, I have thought they've put Tom Curran in new squads now, used him, and I've been sitting there going, but play him, he's so, you think he's walking around, watch him now today, he doesn't look like a man on debut. He's walking around having conversation with everyone.
He's been, first class 19, probably even 18 actually, and he's done it, that's what, 4 years? He's had 2 Lords finals, he's had numerous games.
Yeah, this is just taunting.
He hasn't, and he's staking a claim for this England death bowler spot.
Yeah.
They put on for over, and the last 2 balls were an excellent Yorker to Bihardine, which he was able to squeeze out, and then an off-stump Yorker, which was too good for the incoming Filaquayo, who's now been replaced by this man.
Oh, Monet. His 40th T20.
It is, and he'll be recreate that kind of acceleration at the end of his jingle there as the ukulele or something
I like
just kind of gets faster and faster. It's one of the more tenuous links that you find on Guerrilla Cricket. This was a decent enough effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm appreciating it. That's good.
Tom Curran to accelerate as he the crease. Now that one was better. Right arm over, and it's played by Morkel, who will take first ball though. I don't think come back for this, not to Johnny Bairstow. South Africa with 1 over left in this second T20 first inning are 164 for 7.
Jeff Perkins says, I don't designated classicist on the commentary today.
No designated classicist. Well, I mean, I did a bit of all if that counts.
Yes, I'll wait. Matella.
Yes, Caecilius est. What's also in Latin?
Oh,